Just grab them in the brisket.
That's an interesting job, working at a grocery store. I mean, we have a lot of stories, and I mean, I'm sure we can probably get into some of them some other point in time. But I mean, I know for sure, I mean, working with Jan was always a pleasure and never had anything bad happen, or you know what I mean. But not just kidding. I did a lot of covering. You know, I did a lot of working 2 shifts.
That sounds right.
Yeah. I was that nice brother was like, man, I don't want Jan to lose his job. I mean, I want him to still work with me. We're brothers.
When he showed up.
Yeah. He's like, James, I need you to cover my shift. I was like, well, I just work
you
from
working a
8
double?
to whatever. I guess I'll close. All right, cool.
And what was Jan doing?
I'm sure he was going out or partying. Or
He was throwing Reese's at Texas Rangers.
throwing Reese's at Texas Rangers. Yeah. Sounds about right. Hi, everybody. This is James. Welcome to the Grabbin' Brisket podcast. We are truly honored to have you join us today. No, I'm just kidding, guys. What's up? Hey, guys. Grabbing the brisket. Hey, we'll put you to sleep here in about a
Edit
second or
this
two.
I'll let you know when I start getting usable material.
Nice. Twinkle,
No, literally, so-
little.
Did you
getting there.
hear that they're looking to change Halloween to make it always fall on a weekend?
I heard something about that not too long
Really?
ago.
Yes,
How do you change a holiday?
that's what they're looking at
You
doing.
can't.
No more October 31st is Halloween, changing it to where it falls on the last Saturday of the month.
It's genius.
31 is the opposite of 13. It's a pretty symbolic number with scary
I
stuff.
get it,
you know
but
what
they're
I mean?
doing it so that it will boost sales. People will go out, party more, do more if it's a Saturday as opposed to if Halloween falls on
If
a
they're
Wednesday.
not, if
Buy
they're
more
not changing
candy.
the Super Bowl
Yeah.
to a Saturday, they ain't changing Halloween.
No, you don't change anything. It's
Just
October
just
31st.
Get used to it.
That's my opinion. I feel like as a kid, you need to get your butt up, go trick or treating. You go to bed early. You don't have time to eat your candy, and go to school the next day. If it happens that way, and if it doesn't, then great, fantastic. It's October 31st.
Yeah.
So
I
like
guess.
every 5 years, you're going to get like on a Friday, on a Saturday, you know what I
Right.
mean? Friday, Saturday, maybe 5-6 years.
Yeah, 7 years. Unless throw a leap year in there, which
Like if you want to change
That
St.
will come up
Patty's Day
next year.
to always fall on a weekend, I'm fine with that, right?
But
But
nobody knows when it is
yeah,
anyway.
it's March 17th.
Oh.
I think is the day.
I believe so.
But so I don't know. Your thoughts on changing it to the weekend? What do you think, James?
I think you keep it on the 31st. I mean, it's tradition. I mean,
But it does make it easier for parents to take their kids trick or treating, right? That's devil's advocate there.
I don't
like,
know who has a problem with it.
Well, think about it. All these parents that get off work, have to rush home, grab their kids. It's always a madhouse trying to get home on that day, right, if it falls during the week.
When did this start becoming an issue? Just recently,
Yeah, like
like with all
everybody
the
talks-
other crap that's
every
been
year,
going
everybody
on.
talks about it,
Yeah,
which is
Hey,
on the
just
weekend,
leave it. Just
right?
I guess I don't care either way.
Yeah.
Just hey, okay, kids.
I've already said what I feel. I just kind of want to play devil's advocate a little bit, and
I think you leave it
Go
as
that
is. I
route.
mean, you're not changing New Year's Day. You're not trying to make.
How do you change New Year's Day?
it's the new year.
4th of July. I mean, come on, these
How do you
holidays.
change the 4th of
you're not
July?
Freaking changing them to weekends.
Cinco
Like,
de Mayo
It's
can
the
be the
4th of
6th.
July.
Cinco de Mayo can be the
Cinco de
6th.
Mayo is always on the
Yes,
Cinco.
We're having
The
Cinco de
5th.
Mayo on the
Yeah.
8th this year.
Yeah.
It's not like
a Saturday. Yes.
to give you a better, but it's like
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, exactly.
Last Thursday
Last
of the month.
Thursday of the month. But it's always been that way.
That's right.
Halloween is it's
Last
not like
day of
it's
October.
it's the 31st. Last day of October.
funny.
Yeah, trust me. Hey, I would love to celebrate these holidays on a weekend, but we don't
No.
get that.
I'm fine with
opportunity.
throwing down like a Thursday. Are you kidding me? Thursday, Thanksgiving Day is fantastic. I'm off Friday. It's genius.
Well, here's the deal. Those big holidays, we get off of work anyway, or most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
who
not
gets
getting off for
Who
Halloween.
gets off for Halloween?
That's why they want to change it. That's what I'm saying.
They gonna have to deal with it, man, because they ain't gonna change that for
No, they're not.
for a few. It's a
Right.
select amount of people that are bitching about it. I
Right.
guarantee you. You know
Those
what
of
I
you
mean?
concerned, Alden said no.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
So the I guess to piggyback off that, like one of the big questions that I would have, what is your go-to candy
On
Halloween? Like, what is your go-to candy that you want to receive?
Still Reese's, man. Reese's cups.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Man, they're the best. Yeah.
Reese's are solid, but
I'm not a big candy guy though. That's the thing. You know, I hardly ever eat candy. I hardly ever eat sweets in general. You know, I don't eat cake.
Don't we always sit out and grill hot dogs every
do.
Halloween?
We do grill hot dogs.
And we do chili dogs. That's my candy right there. I want a chili dog.
Maybe we should
We'll
hand out
those out.
burnt ends, some candied burnt ends to the
It's
adults.
fantastic.
We'll always hand out hot dogs to kids.
What's wrong with just throwing them a nice little slice of greasy brisket, boom, right in their bag, and just saturate everything? That would be phenomenal.
Don't eat it
Just
all
leaking.
at once, kid.
Just leaking out the bag, or actually, a lot of them have pumpkins or whatever. But
What? Okay, so what is the worst as a kid? What was the worst
you
that
already
you
know.
could receive
Oh.
as a gift, as a trick or treat? What was the worst trick or treat?
The dots, the black licorice.
No. We're
Doesn't
talking about
have-
the
I'm talking about the
shitty one, the shitty guy on
That
the
one
on
neighbor.
the corner of some random neighborhood
I'm talking about
who
just
hands
candy.
out toothbrushes
Like
as
a
gag.
stapler
or
gift.
something. I
You're
don't
like,
think I ever.
dude, what are you doing?
I don't
Like
think
that
I ever
actually
got
happened.
I didn't get
crazy.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
right.
like-
Me neither.
Yeah.
You
Hand me a
the
freaking toothbrush.
You get the
Oh,
ro-
give me
roll-
some candy.
You get the roll of pennies, like 5 rolls or 5 pennies rolled up into a.
No, I didn't get that either.
ooh,
Into like bubblegum?
yeah, like
wrapper?
almost like a little bubblegum wrapper with like 5 pennies rolled up in there. Like, hey, go get yourself a piece of candy.
Yeah.
No, none of that.
I don't think I ever got anything.
I
go to the
mostly
wrong
got
places.
candy.
Yeah, I don't think I ever got
Every
anything
once
that
in a while,
wasn't
you get a
candy
piece
related.
of fruit or something like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
"What is this for?"
Hey,
Yeah.
kid, here's a can of corn.
Yeah.
Trick or
One
treat.
one guy in Deer Park, he handed out toothbrushes.
I'd rather have a toothbrush than some candy corn. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Candy corn's disgusting.
That is gross.
Well, you had that. Was it here locally where they had that?
That was in Pasadena Deer Park.
Yeah, that past in where they had that scare with the. That's
I was
why,
the Candyman.
The Candyman. That why you have to now people still take their candy to the police department so they can X-ray and make sure there's not any razor blades hidden in whatever.
Really?
Yeah, no,
I
that
think
happened.
it was like poisoning.
I think it was poison, razor blade, or whatever it was. But
Poison razor blades?
it was the that guy was like, I'm not going to risk it. I'm gonna pull this poisonous razor blade. I think it ended up being somebody.
A lot
was
of times,
trying
those
to-
fuckers give those other fuckers that are demented enough to do that the idea.
I think they were
'cause they're
trying.
so
I think
scared.
he was trying to take care of his own family, and so he put it out there to, I guess, kind of conceal
Yeah.
the motive. Like, hey, his kid went out trick or treating, came in, ate some candy, and just like got sick. So, but that started this whole scare. I mean,
That's messed up.
yeah,
Yeah.
X-ray your candies, kids.
Right.
John, you do something pretty interesting with your family with Halloween as far as the candy. Don't your kids have to turn their candy in? They get to pick.
Oh, yes,
They
we
only get
do.
to- okay.
Yes. I don't know where my wife came up with that. The Halloween fairy.
The Halloween fair.
Because we got sick of the dental visits. It's like our version of giving them toothbrushes, I guess. They get to, like a Ziploc bag, like a sandwich-sized bag. They can stuff it as much as they want with candy. The rest of it they give to the Halloween fairy, leave it at whatever. Leave it by their pillow, I guess. I don't know how she does it. And they get a toy the next morning instead.
Do your kids listen to this podcast?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I mean, the older
they probably
two
will.
are aware that there's not a
Oh, okay.
Halloween fairy. The
Okay.
younger two are not listening to the podcast.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maddox, he may listen to the podcast. And what did Maddox say to you today or yesterday?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about.
Is he talking about the badass ribs that I made
I think
No.
so.
Sunday?
It's kind of what I'm alluding to. So
Is that what did he go over and say something to you?
Did you tell him to say that?
What did you say?
What did you tell him to say?
I don't know.
I don't believe you at all now. You set him up.
Okay,
I
I
didn't
made,
set anybody
asshole.
up.
okay,
What?
so I made some baby back ribs again. I've been on this like kick for the last couple of weeks or whatever because they're just delicious. And so knocked them out in the Traeger. Came out super delicious. Kids were running around, and I think I did 2 racks, and we're watching football, and I'm like, "Hey, kid, here's a bone stick, here you go," just gnawing on ribs. I mean, and they were just like, they were good. I mean, we used Pitmaker rib seasoning, and I threw my own SPG on it, and that was it. I didn't sauce it or anything, so it was just kind of a dry rub rib type deal. Kids loved it.
Did Maddox cuss?
No, he didn't cuss.
Did you say ass?
that's my
No.
kid.
Oh, it's your kid.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
he came running in. I'm on the couch watching the football game. I don't remember if it was the Texans or whatnot. He comes in and he's got a just all over his face, and he's got this rib bone, not much left on. And he's like, Dad, I'm like, where did you find that? And then I remember James was making ribs. He goes, this is the best rib ever. This is my favorite.
Nice.
And I said, what did you say to me? He
Nice.
goes, this is the best. I said, no, it's not. He goes, what do you mean? I said, my ribs are the best. He goes, oh. Took him a second. He goes, Dad, this is the second best rib I've ever had. I was like, that's fine, son.
Just
Go
slap
play.
it out of his hand, just like,
Go give it to the dog.
That corn out of my face. You should not
Shouldn't give it to the dog. Alvin fed his dog ribs one time.
Lots of
I
ribs.
did not feed my dog
Lots of rib
ribs. that
Somebody
time.
fed your dog ribs and almost died. I don't know how much money you
Yes,
spent on the
like
vet.
a lot, like $1,200. So basically, it
Vet bill.
dehydrated him. I mean, he was dying in my house. He
The
ate
rib
basically
dehydrated him?
basically a whole rack. Yeah, that he ate, and
You eat all the bones, everything, I think.
so
No, he
one or
didn't
two
eat all
rib
the
is
bones.
okay,
yeah,
but not a whole
that was,
rack.
it was my little one.
It's like a whole rack of
You
spare
know,
ribs.
William, and
That's kind of a barbecue fail right there, Alden.
Right, for sure.
I wasn't a part of it. I just had to pay for it.
Rest in peace, ribs. Sorry you got fed to the dogs. Like, that's sad. Like
Those were Alan's ribs.
We should have Alan on the podcast once.
Yeah, we will.
I'll keep telling him. He's like, nah, I'm not. I forget what he keeps telling. I think he's like, I don't have a voice for it. I'm like, yeah, you do. Come on.
Yeah.
Has he listened?
I don't think he listens. He might. I don't know.
Shout out to you, Alan, if you're listening.
Alan, if you just listen to the podcast, we would give you all the secrets of the barbecue and the briskets.
We
Right.
put peanut butter on the brisket.
Yeah.
That's the
Put
secret.
the grape
Yeah.
jelly away.
For anyone that don't know, Alan's my father-in-law, and
Ice cold cookers.
he's ice cold cookers. He's a very competitive cooker.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? He likes to beat our ass, and when he does, he lets us know.
We actually have a big cook-off coming up this weekend.
Yes,
Right?
Brazoria County Fair cook-off.
Yeah, it's our first time cooking there. Sanctioned, right? It's the
IBCA.
IBCA.
Yep.
Okay.
It's either 75 or 100 teams out there, something like that.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the count is, but I know that I guess portion or the proceeds or however they worked up that cook-off goes towards the kids and the scholarships and
Oh, that's
They
good.
offer a lot of
I think,
money.
I think maybe not scholarships, but maybe it's buying the animals and all that stuff. I'm not really
that's
sure
cool.
how that works.
It is
They're doing good.
scholarship. Actually, by winning this cook-off, by getting grand champion, we will actually be invited in to award a student a scholarship this year.
That'll be fun
on
for
behalf
us.
of
Yeah.
on behalf of the team or
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
And
all.
that's doing good stuff with that money. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Great.
I don't know, not to get off track, but it's kind of this same premise a little bit as far as donations and stuff like that. But I don't know if y'all been following that kid, that had that sign on game day, talking about I believe it was Bush Light, and he gave his Venmo and everything. He's basically saying, I need my Bush Light replenished. Gave his Venmo, whatever. He's on TV. His sign makes it.
Yeah, he made a lot of money.
Yeah, he made a lot of dough. Did you hear all the stories that came out of that? So this dude, he starts making so much money that he's picked basically a children's hospital that he's donating it to. He made like over $1 million, dude.
Holy moly,
Yeah,
this
so
kid.
so now he's donating this money to a children's hospital, dude, which is admirable. You know what I mean? And
Got a
and
new
not
car,
even that,
too,
yeah,
but,
not only that, so Bush, boom, they're gonna hook him up with free beer for a year. So cool, whatever. He did some good stuff with the dough. So he now, they're giving him kickback. Obviously Bush is getting,
Oh, they're
good
getting all
run.
kinds of
You know what I mean? So
free advertising.
anyhow, there was this reporter that starts digging on this kid, and he found something that he said like 8 years ago that was racist. I haven't heard or seen what he said, but so anyhow, now not only is like some of the donators pulling their money from that kid, Bush is pulling their stuff, and so now the money's not going to this hospital or whatever, and just like and I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, just let somebody do some good sometimes. You know what I mean? That was 8 years ago. He was like 16 then. You know what I mean? Just dumb,
That's
right?
just
Who
messed
cares?
up.
So
Kids say dumb stuff.
that's not the end of the story. They start digging on that reporter. He said some racist shit back in the day. Got fired from his job. You want to talk about
People
karma,
are
bro?
dumb.
You want to talk about karma? And he knew he had some stuff out there. He probably they won't find that. You know what I mean? So, but still, like sometimes you just gotta let people do good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let it go. You know, now that Children's Hospital, I believe, is losing money. So I hadn't followed the story in like a week, so there may be some more stuff that's come out. But I was just like, that's kind of bullshit. People just want to ruin other people's lives because they're miserable. You know what I mean? Anyhow, I'm glad that Brazoria is doing good stuff like that. You know, because people need scholarships. You know, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's all for the kids.
Oh, for sure.
Next thing is all for the kids.
Sure.
So it's plus we've got 2 spots out there this year. Close to 100 teams we're cooking against. It could be more than 100 teams. I did see that if there's over 100 teams, the timetables are moved back a little bit.
That's
right?
the new IBCA rules. Yep.
So just be aware of. So we make sure, like, is there 101 teams? Then we need to realize that hey, this is what we have. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then we're cooking. I do like the split cooks. I wish they were doing kind of the same thing as we did at Pasadena, where Pasadena, for those of you who don't know, we had a Friday night cook, our Friday night cook, and then a Saturday cook was basically just brisket. So the Friday cook was the fajitas, beans, or if you're doing that, it could be chicken, ribs, and then a Friday night feast. And the next day you wake up and we're waking up really early. This year I think you and James and Matt got up pretty early. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning you're getting up to start cooking. So, and actually probably earlier than that.
Right, yeah.
You know, you're rolling in about 1 or 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we're rolling in as folks are rolling
as
out.
people are leaving. Yeah.
So, which is, it's one of our biggest cook-offs we do, or whatever. But I really like that style of cooking. I wish we could do that at Brazoria County Fair, where we have the Friday cooking everything except for the brisket. And brisket is done on Saturday, and I really think we turn out a better piece of meat when we're not trying to cook everything else.
You get to focus. I mean,
on the same pits.
Only problem with that is with doing more of them. If you want to do them that way, it's hard for all of us to be able to be there and take off work. You know what I mean? During the week and stuff like that.
I get that. It's a Friday cook. Yeah. That's why it lasts for 2 days. But something else. So this is something I wanted to bring up, and I've been thinking about, is that do you think we should find or use a barbecue pit only for brisket only? You can't put anything else on there. It only holds the brisket. And then you put 1 to 2 people in charge of cooking that brisket. They don't have to run and do ribs. They don't have to run and do chicken. I really think we get spread really thin, and then all of a sudden these timetables sneak up on everybody. And like, I think if we look at what our quality of meat that we put out on just that last Saturday of cooking, man, all those briskets were freaking phenomenal. I mean, not one that I taste.
Yeah, it obviously helps to be able to focus like that.
It does. So just that's food for thought, which we'll probably bring up in our Chasing More Smoke thing, and maybe look at how we do that and organize that and whatever else. But I think it's good to talk about it maybe here on the podcast itself. And I mean, you get other competition teams maybe listening and going, hey, what are they doing, right? So if you have any tips or anything that y'all are doing on y'all's cooks, let us know. Let us know how y'all are organizing it and everything else.
Talk about it.
Yeah, drop us a DM. We'd love to hear all your secrets, like just what you use on your briskets, what you inject with.
That's so messed up, James.
No, I'm just
If
kidding.
you could just itemize everything, maybe even a grocery list for your brines and whatnot, so we can really just get the
I
ingredients.
mean, if you just put it in an Excel spreadsheet, then I can just copy and export that and all that. I mean, that's super great.
So also, the other thing I want to bring up is that I've been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay lately, right? I just like the way he cooks. I like the efficiency that he uses. But he does his take on a brisket. Has anybody seen this? Yeah,
I've not seen that.
His take on a brisket.
Gordon Ramsay, he's the British dude.
Yeah. He's the British dude.
Hell's Kitchen
guy. He basically takes this brisket, and it appears to me that it's just the flat only, right? And he takes it and he uses his own seasoning and concoctions and rubs. I think he uses a binder of like maybe olive oil or something, right? He seasons it up, and then he puts it in a flat iron skillet, or whatever, and then he starts really just browning the meat, getting a really good caramelization on the meat itself, and just really browning both sides.
Like a roast.
Yeah, just like a roast. And then when he gets done doing that, takes and he wraps it up, and he puts the tinfoil over the top of the pan, and that goes into the oven. but the chipotle is really giving that smoky flavor.
Where does he put the wood?
No, it's no wood. It's a gas stove. So then he cooks it, and then he pulls it out, and I'm like, okay. And then he goes to cutting on it, and I'm like, what have you done to this thing?
Killed it.
Gordon, this is not. You're not helping people out. You're helping somebody out in whatever country that doesn't like know how to offset smoke. I mean, like I don't know.
Right. Somebody needed to be there to totally berate him the way he does other people.
Somebody needed to slap the shit out of him right then and there.
What have you bloody done?
Right. I think that there's a lot of people that would follow him, and a lot of people would think, like, how many millions of people just saw that and go, oh, shit, I've been doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
This is how you do it. This is it. You
This
know?
is what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
In Kazakhstan, this is how we cook briskets.
Yes.
We cook just like this in the ovens.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
That's my version.
Oh, it's so good.
That was a good Borat, dude. That was solid, bro.
I was going for Borat.
All you're missing is the neon thong, man.
Right.
Actually, I'm wearing
The
it
little
now.
jump. Oh, you got it on. What?
You're so good.
So, and then last but not least, I've been watching this show on YouTube, and it's Davey Page Views. And what it is, it's the Barstool pizza. And what he does is he basically travels around and tries pizza from everywhere, right? It's like 450. He has to go to 400 places in a year, right? Means he's going there more than once a day to try a piece of pizza. And he gives it a rating scale from 1 to 10. Like he goes to Chuck E. Cheese, does it there. Little Caesars. But he's from New York, so he does a lot of the New York places. And then he starts traveling around, and he shows up, and he's got all these crazy, like Robert Kraft's on there. He's got all these different movie stars and Hollywood, just, whatever, sports guys. And they're all trying to get on the show. I mean, like, he does a really good job. So I'm thinking to myself, like, that's freaking phenomenal. We just travel around. We'll do a podcast. We're going to start, by the way, this is our pitch to the networks. And we're going to start trying people's brisket. And we're going to give it a rating scale from 1 to 10. Yeah, so y'all can see me on television probably in maybe a couple of years.
Yeah.
Or start video topic. Or
Yeah,
video
I don't want to
taping.
do 400 spots in a year. That's a lot of work.
Hey, it is, but you know what? Maybe we can pair up with Barstool. Maybe I'll shoot him a message and say, hey, listen, why don't you cover us? We're going to do some
You
brisket
got a
for
buddy
you.
over there at Barstool?
Davey
Crockett.
Pageview.
Yeah.
Duh.
Oh,
Just send him a DM.
Good
Yeah.
guy. He is a good guy.
He is. He's pretty funny, actually.
What the hell is he talking about?
Anyways, follow along, guys. Please follow along. So, anyways, I thought it was a genius idea. Like, dude really loves pizza, and it doesn't really matter. Like, there's one guy really known for cooking pizza. He's got a file cabinet pizza oven, and he puts coals on the top and coals down below. Cooks the pizza right on the middle one, and
Does he hit his mic?
he does not hit his mic like I did, but he cooks right in the middle. And he actually got like a 7.3, which that was a pretty good score, I think. So
So he's pretty honest about his rating then.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's not giving 10s across
No,
the
no.
board.
Owners are standing outside of their restaurant, like, give me a freaking good score. Give me. He's like, I'm sorry, 5. This is not good. Or he goes, this is not bad, but it's not a 10. But he's never given a 10 out, right?
He's
So,
never given a 10
no.
out?
The
What did he
highest I've
say
heard
about
is 8.7.
What did he say about Chicago pizza? Because those New Yorkers, they're like,
Give it to us in his accent.
Oh, I can't. I'm not even trying. I'm from Texas, but he does. Yeah, I'm not even sure. He he does them all. So I think he's always really impressive about trying to hold it in one hand with a mild flop to the pizza.
you can't do that with Chicago stuff.
No. It's going to run out like hot liquid lava.
It's like a 10-pound pizza.
Right. So, but anyways, that's my Jan's 2 cents that we have tonight. But sorry, maybe we got off topic a little bit, but just thought it was kind of interesting.
Have we started the podcast yet?
What time is it? Where are
We have
at?
started the podcast.
Yeah, we did. We have started.
Yeah.
We ain't even gave him the business yet.
Well,
Hey,
It's probably about that time.
we can mix up times where we give him the business, Alden. I mean, since you brought it up, why don't you just go ahead and give him
I
the
think
business?
I forgot. What are we talking about?
okay, keep it together.
Give him the damn business.
Give him the business, Alden.
All right,
go.
man. You can get hold of us. We're on all the platforms, social medias, Twitter, it's at Grab the Brisket, Facebook, Instagram, at Grab 'em in the Brisket, and you can email us if you want to. grabinthebrisket@gmail.com.
Correct.
That was actually pretty good.
You did good.
That was really good.
Did I get that right?
Took
this
11
time?
episodes, but I think you've got
Take
it.
We
14.
finally got it.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and record that.
Give them the
We'll
business,
just-
taking 16.
We'll replay that every episode.
Right. Yes.
Let me ask you a
Cut and
question.
paste.
When you jump into a pool, like in the deep end, if it's 10 foot, do you hit 10 foot immediately? No, you go to 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot. It takes a while to get there.
Wow. Another Aldenism.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
Fantastic.
yeah.
That's what we're doing now,
All
guys.
right, I'll just forget what I
We
said
got
sometimes.
James being
Let's go. Come on.
sarcastic. We got Alden can't follow along. Give him the business. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Pull it
sorry.
together.
So, James, what do you got for us today? You got anything special?
Yeah, we got a review of some seasonings that we got a hold of from one of our kind listeners. Sent us some seasonings to try out, and we got musket powder.
Yeah, musket powder. It's a seasonal camp tested. Completely cover, then add a little more. I love it. That's actually good. Completely cover and add just a little bit more.
Yeah, we threw that on some steaks, and it was pretty solid. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, and we can go around the board with John. John got to try some of it. It's a
Smell it
little
first.
sweet. It's got a little coffee flavor to it. A little pepper.
I think it smells more like coffee than it tastes like
You,
coffee.
you kind of get the notes of the pepper. I mean the coffee when you smell it. So I mean it's good. It's just me personally. I mean I don't even drink coffee, so
Not a coffee fan.
not a coffee fan. I just ate some. James just ate some raw.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely a coffee note to that. I don't mind the coffee note on the steak. I've done it a couple of times. That's not bad. I mean, I think it's going to need something with that, though. So,
Throw it down with a little extra salt or pepper or what? What are we
yeah,
talking?
probably
little
some
extra
salt. I think definitely.
But what I can see that really doing well is maybe adding a little bark to your meat. Like if you're barbecuing, say brisket, or you're doing a pork butt or something like that. Probably pork butt. Well, depends on where you're from.
Sweetness, right?
So I mean,
Right.
if you're from Texas, you're probably not adding a whole lot of brown sugar to your brisket, but you're
Right.
definitely doing it to your pork. So that'll probably put a nice little crust on it.
Yeah, I agree.
And
I
it
agree.
reminds me of the Lane's 50/50, the little brisket
Oh yeah, the brisket ancho.
brisket ancho.
Yeah, a little sweeter, but yeah. I put some on some burgers. My kids went to town on them. They thought they were great.
Nice.
Fantastic.
So yeah, and I thought
That's
it was
fantastic.
good
Hit up their website, check it out. It's musketpowder.com,
too. Yep.
and they're on Facebook and Instagram at Musket Powder Official. So you guys check it out. I mean, try it for yourself. I mean, we're definitely going to put this bottle to use, and
Yeah, this guy. Yeah, I talked to him a little bit on there. He's a super cool guy, and honestly, it seems like he uses it a lot on more like wild game. He's like a hunter, so like I guess deer and I don't know elk
Sure,
and
venison.
yeah, all that
I mean,
kind of
it's-
shit.
It's going to be good.
I mean that kind of makes sense. I mean, with the game, wild game always has a little bit different flavor, and then there's certain games that may have a particular flavor to the meat where you may have to add a little spice to it to
Yeah,
Right. Maybe the that coffee circumvents the gamey flavor.
coffee
you know
does
what I mean?
circumvent.
So
circumventing. Yeah,
still doing
for
that.
sure. But yeah, I would
Sorry,
check it
people.
out, guys. Try it out.
Sorry,
It's
people.
good.
Y'all are the people. We're sorry. We apologize.
Circumbat TV.
I feel like people are learning. Like, man, that's really a word. I heard it.
Yeah, Circumbat T-shirts are coming soon.
Yeah.
correct.
All right, did we have another item that we tested out? And
We did, and this one I think a lot of our listeners have probably tried before. The Thermoworks
Thermopan?
Thermopen, the MK4.
Yep.
And that's the one that, that'll fold out. Most of you seen it comes in every color you can think of. We use them at our cook-offs all the time. Fast, reliable.
Very instant read thermometer. I mean, we're talking like, I think 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It is an instant reading thermometer. I do like that, and like I said, we do use these, right? And it's
Yes.
A lot.
it's almost like it's foolproof, right? We hand it to anyone, and we're like, "Hey, go check the meat on this or whatever." They don't like fumble with it. They just poke it in there, and they're like,
Right.
"Oh, this is the temperature of the meat."
I will
Right?
say you get what you pay for with that one.
You do. However, I don't. We did the other one on the ink
Inkbird.
Inkbird.
Inkbird, right? And so this one does tell the temperature a lot faster, a lot quicker, a lot more responsive, but no freeze, right? You can't freeze. You can't hold.
Right, you can't hold the temperature.
Can't hold
Pull it out,
temperature.
you don't see it anymore.
Right. So if you're not paying attention, to me, I think is if they could put a hold feature on that, I think, man,
That would be cool.
Game changer
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
So
Also, the Inkbird is magnetic, so when you lose it on your Traeger for a week, you know where to find it.
okay, did it happen to you, John?
What happened to James?
Okay, you lost. Yeah, nice. Good for you.
The Thermoworks is waterproof. I'm not really sure about the Inkbird,
I
but
don't recall.
I don't know why we're doing a comparison between Inkbird
We're
and
not. We,
Thermoworks.
just, we did one. We did one on there, but like I said, that one had to have a hold function, which I really liked, and I never really thought about it until we were able to use that. So,
Yeah.
Thermoworks, hey, put a hold feature on
Yes. I would say, the Inkbird, obviously, we're not doing comparison, but Inkbird is your entry level, and what was it, 12 or 13 bucks? Everybody should have
without
one.
a doubt.
But if you can afford to get the Thermoworks
there, by
ThermoPen,
all means,
you're getting the top quality. That's the best one you're going to get, probably.
without a doubt.
That's the Bentley.
Yes, correct.
So
And they're what, like $100? Sometimes they're on sale for $75 or $80.
Yeah, sometimes you get it for a little bit cheaper when they run the specials during
Yeah.
the holidays or
Right. Sign up for their little email thing.
which is funny because we're always watching, and then as soon as it goes on sale, like we are basically just calling
Yeah.
each other or putting in a big mass
order.
notification saying, "Buy it now, hurry!"
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then-
And I can tell you, I mean, using mine, I'm pretty rough with these things. I'm throwing them in a box, throwing them in the back of the truck, rolling
So they're
down.
pretty rugged.
Yeah, I'm opening it up. I'm using it as a little stabby fork, like pulling meat off.
I do the same thing. Walking in the house with like 4 chicken breasts hanging off the end of the
Yeah,
thing.
I need a plate. Somebody give me a plate. You know, these things have to come off right now. I mean, it's reading time to pull, so I'm pulling.
That's awesome.
That's probably not
Exactly.
how that's
So-
designed to be used, but I mean, that's how we use it.
They're
No,
durable.
it's not. But we always flip meat with it, right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, we do that.
But one thing I saw is that they maybe it's an idea for Thermoworks is make a fork that tells the temperature. That way you can use it.
I've seen those before. I don't know if Thermoworks makes one of those, but
Thermofork?
I've
Yeah,
seen
a
that sort of
Thermofork.
thing before.
But by the way, that's a $1 billion idea.
That's
and
trademarked.
And grabbing the brisket once, just a royalty or something. I don't know.
Shout
We'll,
out.
we'll talk about it. A lot of people get in touch with your people. Hey, Thermofork.
Right.
Thermofork.
Did you say you've seen them before?
Ba-dum.
We need a freaking soundboard for Alden. I also need a dump button too.
Right.
Dumps what you say sometimes.
Well, John's our dump button whenever when he
Right.
edits it.
I'm the dumb button.
That's what I do, man. Come on.
You were talking earlier about Gordon Ramsay and doing the brisket.
Yeah.
I saw earlier today. I don't know if you saw the tweet that Guy Ramsay threw out there.
Guy-
about
Ferrari?
God damn it, Guy
Fieri.
Fieri? I
Fieri.
don't know.
Fieri.
Fiero.
No, it's Fieri.
Guy Fieri.
Yeah. That's how you say his name.
Let's just say guy. Everybody knows who you're talking about when you say guy.
Yes,
I promise you that's how you say his name.
Guy threw out a tweet. He's trying to create this ultimate, like I think he's doing like 16 March Madness type deal where he's getting these celebrity chefs, these not even celebrity chefs, people on TV, not on TV, just old, young, putting them together and just like a tournament, boom, go at it. And I think he's going to give away a car or something like that.
It's fabulous. I'm going to join up for that.
Do you think he's going to get
I mean,
any
you-
big names on there?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Is he giving away a Ferrari?
He's not getting Gordon Ramsay on there.
No.
Well, he's asking people to nominate who you think should be on there. So you can go on Twitter right now.
Yeah, I did. I went on there.
You went on there, and you can
Nominate me?
recommend.
I did. I did you. I did Martha Stewart, and I did Paula Dean. I want to see those two go head to head.
Oh.
You know,
Sickeningly sweet.
Paula Dean's throwing some butter on it for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to cook the same thing?
Not really sure what the details are, but
I thought you were talking about celebrity deathmatch again, because that would have been solid.
I mean, we can go into
yes.
celebrity chef death match.
Paula Dean and Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Go.
I'm probably taking Martha. She's done some time, man. So,
Balls from
I'm
the
just-
south.
Right?
Paula Dean. She's probably killed somebody already.
and get away with it.
Yeah.
Bless your heart.
Right?
Yeah.
That food sneak up on you.
I'm gonna call that.
Probably
I'm gonna
heart
call that a
attack.
tie then. We'll just go with that tie.
Yeah, well, Paula Dean's like her food is like deep fried, just butter, whatever. So she isn't like,
She can cook.
Well, I know
she's
she
a
can.
southern cook. Yeah.
but that that death is not gonna just come at you. I mean, it's gonna be a slow one.
Slow killer.
Yeah, it may get you like when you're about 60, 70 years old, like the arteries just like harden up, and just like, oh, fucking Paula, I got you, Martha. So
Yeah.
I mean, who else?
The Pioneer woman, I like her.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot her name.
Pioneer.
Yeah, I don't know.
just saw her. I was trying to search up like old school celebrity chefs.
Ali.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna butcher that one. So
Yeah.
Pioneer
I
woman.
can't even. Yeah, somebody's probably listening right now. Just
And
like,
they have the
just
barefoot Contessa.
name
They're
it
arguing.
right off.
They're
the
arguing
bat,
in
just
their car with you
Barefoot
right
Contessa,
now.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I watch a lot of shows.
Emerald Lagasse. He won't go
Emerald-
on there.
Emerald
If he
Lagasse.
did, he'd probably kick all their asses.
Yeah, but I would also
Bam.
say, who's the guy that has the steakhouse, barbecue house, that whatever, it cooks a lot of things on Weber's?
Outback.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh shit, the Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay goes in there, he is winning.
I knew
think?
that.
Oh, without a doubt.
I don't know
That dude's
about
Iron
that.
Chef.
Yeah,
He is-
but he's
he
been
is-
beaten on his own show.
Yeah, come on.
I'm just saying.
Can't win them all.
Has
true.
he cooked a brisket against anybody on Iron Chef? Not Iron Chef. What's the one? Throw down with Bobby Flay.
Beat Bobby Flay.
Beat Bobby Flay.
I don't think so, because it's like an 8-hour cook or
Right,
12-hour
and it's that
cook.
30-minute show. So
Yeah,
They could speed through it.
yeah.
how do you get this smoker up to 8,000 degrees?
Anyways, we challenge you, Bobby Flay. Cook a brisket.
Let's do this.
So who else? Gordon Ramsay. Who are you pitting up against Gordon Ramsay?
Well, everybody that I saw on there said Gordon Ramsay and Bobby Flay.
Yeah, I think it'll be probably
But I think
pretty good.
Emerald could be either one of them.
Emerald's good, man. He is.
How about Wolfgang?
Wolfgang Puck. Is that guy still cooking?
Yeah, man.
Hey, you don't quit cooking, man.
You know he's
Yeah,
cooking.
for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't hear his name anymore, so I'm sure he's probably doing this celebrity tour and cooking
Right.
all around and all that stuff like that.
Having somebody cook for him.
Hey, I'm not really versed in a lot of these like really famous chefs or anything
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
a lot
I mean,
of
I
new
watch some of
ones.
the TV shows that I see or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of television either. I just know.
Hey, one that I can throw into the mix, and maybe I'll throw it out there on Twitter, is Ernest Savante, Burnt Beans Barbecue Company. That dude kills it, and he's a backyard barbecue cooker / chef, and he was on Pitmasters.
I feel like I could be on Pitmaster right now.
Yeah, and I think he was kicking ass in the
Win.
American Royale too as well.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you had your idea about your show earlier.
Yeah.
What about, I'm going to pitch you another idea. And I think they used to have this, but they've done away with it. And I think that since and turned into the Pitmasters that we have now, which is good. But, I mean, the Pitmasters of just, who's the silver-haired dude?
Myron Mixon?
Myron Mixon, Tuffy Stone. Sometimes you had Mo Cason. I think Diva Q's been on there as well. And
Yeah,
all stuff like
she
that.
was on there.
I mean, great show, whatever. That does not encompass the whole competition barbecue setting, the surrounding, the people. For me, that doesn't encompass it all. Basically,
Right.
you got three teams just competing against each other, and here, you do this meat, and y'all compete against each other and do whatever. They're all fantastic cooks, for sure. But they used to have a show to where they followed around pitmasters going to competitions. Boom, boom, boom.
Love that.
You get
And
to
then-
get the real behind the scenes.
You get the real, the real behind the scenes, and you could see, like, there was an Asian dude, Harry Sue. Harry Sue, I think is.
Yeah, he's one of the Jealous Devil ambassadors with
Okay.
us. Yeah.
He kicked ass doing that early Pitmaster show that I watched, and it was awesome. They had shit where dudes were pulling their pits, going down the road, going to a competition, and blowout trailer, just like boom. And then, I mean, the drama, just like, okay, I got to get this back up and running. I got to get the competition. You get there. I think I saw one where Harry Sue was set up, and he was cooking on these probably Weber Smoky Mountains. He didn't have a,
Yeah,
stick
offset
burner or
big
anything
pit.
like that. And what he was doing, he was busting out the digital probes, the reeds, and boom, boom, plugging all his meat in. And, I think he maybe had some type of like a system in there that was blowing on the coals that regulated the temperature and the fire and all stuff like that. So I think they should bring that back. Somebody's got to bring it back because
Yes.
we talked about like bringing, and I think maybe Sean, our team captain, I think he has a GoPro, but we talked about bringing cameras out and just like following this because it's funny. It's interesting. There's a lot of shit goes down to these cook-offs that people aren't really privy to. That they just see pictures of us with meat, and they see us may or may not win trophies, and that's it. But
What they don't see is somebody going, "What the fuck? Nobody's watching the fire."
Yes.
Or wrong box.
damn it. Yeah.
Wrong box. And you're trying to change the food out in the middle of an alley. Yeah, or not alley, but in the middle of a walkway or whatever.
They don't see 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like, hey, I love you, man. I love you.
Yes. I lit the pit.
Lit
It's
the
not
pit.
lit.
I lit the pit.
It's been on 0 degrees for 2 hours, man.
The pit's lit. But stuff like that is real. I want to see that on TV. So some network exec or with the Travel Channel or the Home Garden Channel or whatever the stuff is,
Network?
the Food Network channel wants to throw some. God, let me rethink that. Do we want cameras in our face for 24 hours, like
No.
recording shit?
Well, that depends upon what we're being
I
paid.
do.
Okay, yeah.
I do.
What if we're only being paid like minuscule dollars, waiting for a back end royalty check?
Yeah,
No.
I'm in.
Fuck that.
How much am I getting paid while I'm waiting?
Well, maybe we get endorsements. Maybe we get.
$5 an hour?
Oh, we don't. What do we make now?
We're making so many internet dollars right now that we're rich.
We're making all the dough.
We're rich in
All
internet
the
dollars.
internet
We're
dollars.
making all the dough.
Yeah.
So-
We should go and just put up our own
Great ideas.
Venmo.
Actually, cancel these ideas out that we had. We need to get these out to people, and before we actually get these out to the people, right
Go ahead
here.
and Venmo us at Grab 'em in the Brisket, and we'll take your sponsor dollars. No, I'm just kidding. We don't even have that set up, but hey, please don't set that up.
Yeah, I think it's a phenomenal idea, James. Why don't we just hire a film crew, and we will film our next cook-off from start to finish, right? And then we will cut it, edit, put together a show, and then we'll send it to the network to see what they think. And that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen Along Came Polly?
What?
Along Came Polly with the
Jennifer Aniston?
yeah.
Yeah. So?
That dude got his own film crew running around. He ain't even pay nobody. They don't even know they're not making money.
Yeah, we're not.
So like on Yahoo, I don't even bring up Yahoo again, but so like a lot of the
When you get invited to San Jose,
Yeah.
you no
No,
longer take
not
the
like that,
invitation.
but-
Did you get catfished again?
but a lot of the stuff on there, it tells you, and you can tell if the sites are reputable or not. You know, a lot of them say ad. You click on the ads; those are the ones that are clickbait, and those are the slideshow ones and stuff like that. So it took me 36 years. I finally figured that out, like in the last year and a half or something like that. So if it says ad on it, and if it's too good to be true, monster shows up, but wife tells him to go home. You know, who's clicking on that shit? I used to.
Well, people like you. I don't ever. Guys.
But then it says ad underneath it, and you know immediately it's sponsored by somebody. They're
Yeah.
making money off that click.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean? So
I hear you.
I mean, if it's not like a site that you're familiar with, don't click on anything, man.
No, that's good advice. If you don't know what you're clicking on, don't click on it. That's how you download malware and viruses. And although I did get a funny email, this happened. I don't know if I said this to you already or not, but it said basically like, "Hi," doesn't know my name or anything, but it says, "Hi, I was able to hack your computer. And it really wasn't that hard to guess the passcode, and I may have turned your camera on and recorded you. You've been really naughty.
Interesting.
You haven't, from the time you've opened this email, you now have 24 hours to click and basically send money.
So it's like ransom. Like the guy's
Yep.
like,
And if you don't, I'm uploading your videos." And I was thinking like, oh, this is so great. Like, I really wanted to like just, well, click, I guess, or whatever. But I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I mean, this is my work computer. It's always in my office. It's like, I don't know. It just seems so far-fetched. Here's the deal. People fall for that shit.
oh yeah.
And then next thing you know,
Especially
they're
older
clicking.
people.
They're clicking on it, going, "Oh, what did
Older people,
What
man.
was I doing last Thursday night?" You know,
In the
right?
back of your mind, like,
They start reflecting on.
Yeah.
it.
start like,
Shit,
what
what was I doing?
What was I
What
doing?
was
right?
I
Shit,
doing?
did he get that?
So
on
I
time?
just delete the email. Boom. I marked it spam from my office and deleted. Right.
Yeah.
But funny thing is, I got sent to training a couple of years ago to Connecticut, and I was there for a while, about a week and a half or so. It was a week long, and we were taking these classes and it's training and going through some software. And one of these guys from another company was there as well. He's kind of an older gentleman, and probably I'm 41, so I'm probably going to guess about 58 or so, probably his age. But he'd come in the next morning, and first thing we do is he set up our computers every single morning, like at 7:30 on the dot, right? At 7:34 or 7:35, the instructor comes in, and he's just talking, right? And he's writing code on the board, right? It's very just like, dude, like there's no warm up or anything else. So he goes to power his computer up, and everybody's scrambling, right? Just trying to get set up because you don't want this not be set up, and the guy walks in, right? So he turns on his computer. He's like, "Oh, my computer died last night while I was studying." So he plugs it in and turns on the computer. Yeah, well, he wasn't studying the code or the software. He was studying like Pizza Boy meets two co-heads or whatever. I mean, because the volume was so freaking loud, right? So you know when you have like you power up your computer and it's playing in the background, whatever you're watching, but you have to Control Alt Delete and put your passcode in for it to actually open up the screen.
Correct.
This dude is freaking out. He can't get the volume down. He can't get anything down. So he shuts his laptop real fast, right? We're all cracking up, right? We're dying. I'm crying right now, right? So I'm like, hey, I can't remember his name, so I want to call him. I'm gonna call him Larry, right?
That sounds good.
That may be his name actually, but I said, Larry, hey, I hate to break this to you, buddy, but you're gonna have to power that thing back up, and you're gonna have to Control Alt Delete, and then you're gonna have to shut down whatever is running. So you could see the terror in his eyes, like I have to go through this whole thing again. As soon as he opens the laptop up, and once it starts to come on, and it goes to that screen, Control Alt Delete, that thing is playing in the background, right? And it's super loud. We're like, at this point, we're still dying. Of course, he Control Alt Deletes. He shuts down what he was studying, right? And then, yeah, he basically just melts in his chair and doesn't talk to anybody for the rest of the day. So, lesson learned from Larry is if your computer runs out of battery while you're doing things on it, chances are it could be still on that same refresh page. So, just FYI. So
That is a fantastic. I don't know what I had to do with anything, but it's a great story. I love
thank
that.
you. Thank you.
I had a while back, looks like a while back in the day, and I say a while back. I mean, I'm not trying to give my age away. I mean, I'm 41, the same as Jan, but deal with the
I'm 40.
dial-up internet, the beam, yeah, totally sucked. I mean, you guys nowadays and me,
Us nowadays, yeah.
us nowadays are freaking grateful for the internet and the Wi-Fi's and all that stuff like that we're fortunate with. Back in the day, you had dial-up modem, you had to sit there and log on. So when I was on a Dell computer that probably cost about $2,000, which was like a very crappy monitor with a big, huge station, just nothing. I was like, oh man, this is horrible. So I was logged on one time, and you have your software, your virus protection, all that stuff, the McAfee or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure McAfee was a virus itself, but
Dude was crazy.
so I'm logging on. Next thing you know, and back then it was like pop-up windows were very like real, like boop, 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 boop. If you were downloading like music or a video that you probably shouldn't have been, or you didn't know where that source was coming from, chances are you probably could have downloaded something a little malicious, and maybe I might have or not have seen a video or downloaded music that I probably should
Allegedly?
have.
Is that what we're
Allegedly.
saying? Okay.
Allegedly.
Good.
And so, next thing you know, it like, boom, I get a pop-up that was a pretty graphic pop-up. And I close that out, and then two more popped up. And then I close those out, and then another one pops up. And then I close that out. And they just keep popping up. Every time I close them out, they
It's
just
like
keep
the little
popping
hog
out.
game at the
Pretty much.
thing.
Yeah,
Bing, bing, bing,
yeah.
with the
Close
hammer.
one out,
Boom,
two
boom,
comes
boom,
out.
boom, boom.
Close that out, two more come out. You're like, I don't even what's happening here. I don't even know.
Prairie dogs. What were those things?
Whack-a-mole.
Moles.
Yeah.
Whack-a-mole. That's
Whack-a-mole.
right. Yeah.
So finally, I was like, I'm just gonna power this thing down, shut it down. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna let it sit overnight. Hopefully, I fire it up back in the morning. Everything's good. So I fired up in the morning. It was good. The pops were gone. I'm like, okay, great. I don't even know what that was, but hey, I'm definitely not gonna go to that site anymore to download music or whatever it is. I was doing.
LimeWire was the worst.
Yeah. And so maybe a month later, Laura's at the house. She opens up the phone bill. Phone bill's $400.
Wow.
She's like, what? What? I mean, what have you been doing? Who have you been calling? I'm like, what? I mean, what do you mean? It's $400. And I'm like, no, I mean, it can't be $400. I mean, I don't even know what. There's.
You bought movies you didn't
You're
even
calling
watch.
overseas. You calling overseas?
Calling Russia.
Yeah, there's like all these different like overseas numbers and out of the country numbers. I'm like, maybe I don't know what that is. I mean, it's just whatever. So we call the phone company and we don't know what this is. They end up resolving it next month. Boom, again. I'm like, what is happening? Finally, I was like, okay, so obviously we've gotten hacked or something, and somebody's like running through our computer, through our phone line, doing whatever. So finally, I just kind of unplugged the computer, and I was like, we didn't have a computer for a while until we got a new computer, and I was like, okay, something's.
You just ruined a brand new computer by going to a shady site back in like 2001 or something.
I'm telling you,
Damn.
LimeWire was the worst, man.
Damn.
You know, after Napster went down, LimeWire had it, but it was hard to even search a song. Like, to find a song, like, you had to put code words in to find any song. And then it took you all night to freaking download anything, and that was rough. It was rough days, man.
It's file sharing sites, right?
Yeah.
They had this, and I'll leave this, but they had just this week they had read an article where the scammer scammed the scammer, and so this guy was obviously contacted via
It's the
some
best. That's the best.
social media or email or whatever, and I don't think it was the Nigerian prince type deal, but he was contacted requesting a certain sum of money to do blah 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 blah, and this guy was like, it was maybe like 1,000 or 2,000 or a couple hundred.
It's
or
like the
something.
IRS thing, right?
Yeah, and then the guy was like, why just stop at that? Like, how about $25,000? And the scammer was like, yes, I mean, all right. And then so he's like, okay, give me your information. All right, I'm sending a wire transfer right now. Boom, done. It's like, did you get it? And he's like, no, I have not got it. He's like, got there's probably something going on with my bank that's saying that I'm like being scammed or something, so they're blocking it. So if you could just go ahead and send me like $25, that way they'll see that come through, then I can turn around and like send it to you and everything will be great. The guy's like, okay, great. So the scammer sends him $25. So then after you got $25, he's like, hey, F you, dude.
Got him. Yeah.
Hey,
You
thanks
just
for the money.
got.
Thanks for the money.
So he takes that money he got, and then I think he donated to charities, which I think probably came from like somebody he stole money from somewhere
Right.
else. Or
He
whatever it is.
donated somebody else's.
He donated somebody else's stolen money, whatever. But hey, the scammer got. So hey, that's a lesson learned for you guys. I mean, and I know this is a barbecue podcast, and we've gotten all up into technical type deals, but hey, people are out there trying to steal your shit. So I mean, I know we've probably discussed it before, but hey, password protect your stuff. Just don't do random 1, 2, 3, 4s.
Shit. Also, we'll take it to a barbecue level. How about this? Stop leaving your seasonings out for all your people to come over and take a look at what you're using on the barbecue circuit.
Let me rephrase that. Let me
It's
flip
fine.
that
You
around.
can leave it out.
Stop coming over and trying to steal our
Exactly.
seasonings.
So that happens too. But we've gotten smart on that. So we label our stuff. We'll tape our stuff up. Like on a barbecue competition, sometimes we don't, but we'll have certain rubs that are taped up. You know, you don't know what's inside, and so we're shaking that stuff. Also, just because it says something on the bottle with ours doesn't mean that's what's on the bottle. What's actually in there.
Correct.
So we'll reuse a lot of the plastic bottles that we get and such. So kind of a tip to the tricks there when people come over and they're really wanting to talk to you and try that brisket, but they're also eyeballing what you're using.
You see their
Right?
eyes wandering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just turn around and say, "Oh yeah, great! I got this. I'm using this seasoning right here. You know, it could be like lemon pepper or something,
Or
it could
lemon
be
salt. This is all you use is
Yeah.
twang?
Twang.
Really?
That's it.
What?
And we're winning. You know.
Damn it.
So
I'm sold.
yeah, you never know.
Yeah,
Well,
I
look,
think
you
you.
lose that.
What was it? Darius from Cosmos. I think his name's Darius. He's got a term called shiggin, where this is pretty common in the barbecue competition realm. Is that people will come visit your site, and then their eyeballs will start going around trying to figure out what you're using, especially if you've been winning a lot. So try to figure out what you're using. So then they start copying it. Another thing is be mindful of the photos that you post on social media,
Oh,
because
sure.
100% those people are eyeballing, and I'm guilty of it. I've done it 100 times myself.
Absolutely.
Just rolling through Instagram and going, oh, hey, what seasonings they use? Oh, they're using that.
Let me zoom in a little bit. What is that
Exactly.
back there?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can tell you, I mean, we use, like, we're not hiding.
We
use,
post pretty much what we use.
Yeah, we use
You know what I
Lane's
mean?
barbecue
Yeah.
seasonings,
Texas Select,
Texas Select seasonings,
Mayhem Mike's,
Mayhem Mike's.
and whatever we come up with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's right. And James does work on, and John works on some barbecue rubs that are one-offs.
We do
right?
some of our own as well.
So we might want to send a batch over to maybe Mayhem Mike or something. Let him try out one of our Texas rubs we produce.
Mm-hmm.
See what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sounds good to me.
word.
All right, this episode is brought to you by Dome Foam, Eighth Wonder Brewery.
I only wish
We're-
it was Eighth Wonder.
No, we're not affiliated or sponsored with by Eighth Wonder Brewery, but hey, we're enjoying this nice Dome Foam. This is in preparation to the Astros coming up here in probably the next couple of days.
This weekend.
This
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah. Who will be
Playoffs.
probably playing on Halloween, and Halloween's on a Wednesday this year. A lot of times we go through that. So, but a lot of times you go to these houses, and the adults know. They're like, "Oh, you want a beer, right?" Like, "Oh, boom, here you go." And I think that's the hospitality that we do. It's like, "Oh, okay, you come over here, watch the game for a little bit, get your kids some candy, have a beer."
Oh, for Halloween?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or when the Astros in the playoffs.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's fine. Give
Yeah.
him a hot dog too. Chili dog.
I think in the next couple of weeks we'll probably like try to feature a couple of like recipes or something that we can put out there for people to either try. And I think we've kicked around a couple of ideas. And I don't think we put out there socially yet, but I think we're probably maybe trying to see if we can get together maybe a contest with the listeners, the people, to submit their game day / appetizer / recipe, and then we'll pick a couple that we think that might be the best, and then we'll go ahead and cook them, try them, eat them, and then we'll come up with the winner, and then we'll come up with a little prize pack for the people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The shirts are on sale still right now, right?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
are we kicking off this contest right now, or are we just kind of giving a little teaser for it?
Probably a little teaser.
A little
Are we
teaser.
ready to-
We'll get together and try to figure out all the details as far
Okay.
as what we're going to
Yeah.
do.
Coming soon.
That's awesome.
All right, another fantastic podcast, guys. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was fun. We learned a lot of stuff.
I do. I think we probably had a good barbecue talk.
That
this
was a
time.
good barbecue
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
Really
for
was.
sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out Thermoworks. Check out Musket Powder Official.
That's right.
.com.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Completely
it's
cover, then add a little
musketpowder.com.
more.
Oh, musketpowder.com.
And then it's Musket Powder Official on their Facebook and Twitter.
Exactly what I. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, we enjoyed it, guys. Thanks.
Peace out.
Good night.
Just grab 'em in the brisket.